This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Now hosting YCN Sports Talk the first Wednesday of every month. And by Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community.
Welcome back here to YCN's Game of the Week from Hanover tonight as the John Stark Generals battle the Hanover Marauders along with Andrew Zerhide. I'm Dave Collins. 8 minutes up on the board as we're ready to start the second quarter. It was all Hanover in the first, 22-4. They limited John Stark to just one field goal and 2 foul shots. And now Hanover moving right to left across your TV and computer screens tonight. Ball knocked out of bounds as it goes off the leg of Patterson, and Hanover will inbound in the front court.
The YCN scoreboard sponsor is LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion, and also by Bubba's Bar and Grill overlooking the beautiful Newberry Harbor on Lake Sunapee.
Hagman with the steal for the Generals, takes it coast to coast, lays it up and in, and that's their first field goal here in the second quarter. And it's a 22-6 lead for Hanover as we get a whistle with 7:42 to go in the second quarter. And a foul against John Stark, and Hanover already in the bonus. They started that with just a few seconds left in the first, and they'll be shooting 1-1 the rest of the way out. Couple of substitutions now. As going to the bench, Gantrish, also Adam, and Goodrich will take a seat on the bench for Hanover. At the line for the 1-1 is Roach, rattles it out, no good. And McQuarrie grabs the rebound for John Stark. Up ahead to Hagman. Hagman stops at the top of the key. Man-to-man defense by Hanover, gives it off, a floater by Gamache. That's no good. Hanover with the rebound, and they're on the run. Marauders with the basketball. Here's Mosenthal. Mosenthal, crisscross pass over to Roach, and Roach will set up the offense. As still, John Stark looks to be playing in that zone defense right now, which has not been successful. Hanover just playing keep away. Now here's a 3-ball by Paulson. Off the rim and backboard, no good. Generals grab the rebound, pushing it ahead. Quickly, here's Patterson in the lane. Layup is no good. Lots of body contact, no whistle from the official. Here's a steal, and going the other way is Hagman. Hagman throws it up, that's no good, but he gets the whistle, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that's the most sort of enthusiasm we've seen from the Generals so far in this ball game, Andrew, right there. Aggressiveness.
Right, yeah, they drove, didn't get the basket, then immediately stole the ball back. And also good defense by Paulson there on Hanover. Might have fouled the shooter, but just was clean enough.
Michael Steger gets charged with a personal for Hanover. That's his first, team 6th. John Stark has committed 8 fouls so far, and the first one is off the rim by Hagman, no good. 6:58 to go, second quarter here in Hanover. Marauders 22, John Stark 6. Glad you could join us for YCN's Game of the Week. Next one, off the front of the rim of the backboard, no good, and Hanover controls the rebound. This is Putnam with it, gives it off to Roach. Roach dribbling past Gamache right now. Roach off to the right-hand side to Paulson, dribbles it between the circles. Now they swing it around to the left-hand side. Mosenthal with the touch. Now off to the right. Roach thought about the 3 in the lane, tries to dribble it, whistle. No, not yet. Now we do get one, and a jump ball situation. And the possession arrow points the way of John Stark. You're up 22-6. No real need to call a timeout, no sense of urgency. Hanover cost them a turnover, but still a pretty big lead right now.
Yeah, they're definitely in control of this game. Don't need to waste a timeout. Obviously in the bonus here as well. Looking good for the Marauders.
Trying to drive in as Gamache gets stopped there. Wild shot thrown up, air ball, whistle knocked out of bounds by Hanover, and John Stark will still keep it. Roach goes out for Hanover, and back in is Goodrich. Hagman will trigger the inbounds pass, and it's knocked away, and here comes Hanover the other way. Clear path to the basket is Mosenthal, and it's ripped away at the last second by Patterson. Oh, he's so quick. We've seen him do that a few times so far here in the first half. Hanover will still get it, though. And now a substitution as Bergeron checks in for John Stark, and McCaskill's out. Paulson to inbound for Hanover. Goes all the way back to near half court to Goodrich. To the right to Mosenthal. Bounce pass at the foul line, turning with it Putnam. Putnam spins in the lane, goes up with the left hand, off the back iron, no good. Strong move, but he couldn't finish as McQuarrie rips down the rebound. Now a pass underneath as Bergeron throws it up off the glass and in for John Stark. Good ball movement right there for the Generals. They got it quickly into the front court. Hanover wants to run though. Here's Goodrich with it, being double teamed. Gets it off to Paulson. Paulson gets by his man. Paulson in the lane, draws the contact, whistle and a foul against John Stark, and that'll be team foul number 9 in a 1-on-1 situation once again for the Marauders.
Hey, local sports fans, 94.5 ESPN's Franklin and House Sports Talk Show can be seen on YCN's WYCX Outside Television at 5 p.m. every weekday. Tune in daily and get up to date on what's happening in sports.
I heard Brett this afternoon with Josh Weinrev from the Valley News talking about Vermont playoff basketball, Hanover hockey. Of course, Lebanon and Hanover playing tonight. On the girls' side, as the foul was committed, by the way, by Bergeron, team's 9th, his 2nd. John Stark now with it, and here's a 3-ball by Hagman. Back iron, no good. Rebound collected by Steger. And Steger lays a wicked pick and more contact right now as Patterson gets bowled over. And running into him was Paulson. 2 big booms in the backcourt.
Yeah, I mean, really, Steger, he wasn't moving. He set a good pick, and was that Troy Gamache just ran straight into him. So, I mean, it was really a good pick by Steger. It looked a little aggressive, but I think it was clean.
So with 5:22 in the second quarter now, Hanover goes into the double bonus with 2 shots. First one rims out, no good by George Paulson, the 6-foot senior for Hanover. Foul was called against Patterson, his 2nd, team's 10th, over the limit for the first half. Paulson gets one more, and this one rattles home. And Hanover now with a 25-8 lead over John Stark. Clock ticking, 5:19 to go here in the second quarter. Hanover won the first contest back on February 16th down in Ware by 2 points. This one not as close so far, but John Stark still trying to make an effort. As the ball is knocked away, as Gamache thought he had a clear path to the basket, but good defense by Hanover. Inbounds pass for John Stark underneath the offensive bucket. Wide open in the corner was Patterson calling for it. They couldn't find him. Now they try to do it. It's stolen away, but thrown out of bounds by Paulson. He had control. He was looking for his teammate Steger in the backcourt. Oh no, they're going to say that John Stark tipped it out. Okay, so Hanover still has it. Here's Paulson. Cross-court pass to Goodrich. Back to Paulson. 1-2-2 zone defense by John Stark. As this pass goes out of bounds off of Goodrich's fingertips, and Hanover turns it over once again, and the Generals will have it. So that time it worked.
Yeah.
The pressure worked.
Right, and they did a good job of double teaming Paulson right at the top of right over half court. He had nowhere to go. Just made an errant pass. They need some more of those turnovers if they want to get back in this game.
Hagman being guarded closely by Mosenthal. Lots of contact underneath.
Yeah.
Steger and McQuarrie going toe-to-toe. And now a whistle, and McQuarrie will get called for that one. McQuarrie, number 30 for John Stark. Steger, number 25 for Hanover. We talked about it just a few seconds ago, and McQuarrie the guilty party. And so an offensive foul and another turnover, and here comes Hanover.
Yeah, seeing a little bit of frustration there from McQuarrie. He hasn't scored yet in this game, so really Hanover's done a nice job of double teaming him and denying him the ball down low, so I understand his frustration.
And he has 3 personal fouls right now. This ball knocked away by Patterson. Patterson has help, dribbles into the right-hand side, goes up with a floater, too strong, a whistle, and if this is over the back against McQuarrie, it'll be his 4th personal foul, and that could do some serious damage to John Stark's lineup.
Yeah, I think it is. And that's going to be a big loss. It's not like he's had a huge impact in this game, but already 4 fouls.
And he's a 6'7" senior, so he's the biggest player on the court when he's out there, but he's going to have to sit for a while as he's picked up his 4th personal. 5 and you're out.
Right, and 2.5 quarters still in this game.
First one is good by Goodrich for Hanover. 4:17 to go, second quarter. Hanover 26, John Stark 8. Next one is good. So John Stark will have to do without McQuarrie for at least the rest of the first half, you got to think.
Yeah.
And now a whistle and a traveling violation against the Generals and another turnover. We go the other way. Generals just look out of sync, Andrew, and I know we mentioned it before, their defense just isn't working, and really we haven't seen them try to go man-to-man for a sustained period of time on defense. Maybe they think Hanover is just a little quicker, and they are right now. They're finding the open outlets. As the ball is knocked out of bounds by John Stark, Hanover will retain possession with 3:57 to go in the second. Paulson to inbound.
At least in this quarter, the Marauders, they haven't scored nearly as many points in the first quarter, so they're playing better defense on the John Stark side, but still their offense, I mean, they've only scored 4 points here in this quarter.
Long walk down the lane there by Bergeron. He gets it to go in, though, with the floater. And John Stark cuts the deficit to 17. Another whistle, another foul. And this one will go against John Stark. So again, double bonus at the line for Hanover. This will be Caleb Putnam, as that foul is called against Bergeron, his third. Before these foul shots, we'll take a break. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by LaValley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Caleb Putnam's first foul shot is no good, as the foul was called against Bergeron before our break. He'll check out. And back in is Christian Barr, 6'3" sophomore for John Stark. Putnam with one more at the line. It's up, back iron, no good. Ball batted around. Putnam grabs it. Off to the right-hand side. Paulson thought about the three, but bobbled it. Now across the court to Goodrich along the near side for Hanover. Still a zone defense being employed by the Generals. Bounce pass, Putnam in the lane, kicks it back out. Paulson spots up for three, rims out, no good. Ball batted around. Who's got it? Another offensive rebound by Putnam. Goes up with it, no good, and a whistle. And now Putnam commits the over-the-back foul, and John Stark will have it as we go the other way. Good looks right there for Hanover. They just couldn't send it home. And now Adam will check in for Hanover, as Putnam will go to the bench. And since it's the 7th team foul against Hanover, first one against Putnam, will walk the other end of the court, and 1-and-1 foul shots for the Generals.
Our next YCN Game of the Week will be at Southern New Hampshire University for the Division III Girls Basketball Championship game between the Hopkinton Hawks and the Conant Orioles.
That should be a good one down there as well, as the ball's knocked out of bounds, and John Stark will still have it. Patterson inbounds to Hagman. Now up top with it is Gamache. Troy Gamache surveying the situation off to the left-hand side to Patterson. Back to Gamache. Gamache driving in, took a few steps, lots of contact, no whistle on either side, and Hanover comes away with the basketball. Oh boy, and now a little loosey-goosey. Nice move right there by Adam for Hanover, and the Marauders bring it into the front court. It has just not gone John Stark's way tonight. Here's a long two from the left-hand side. Way too strong by Adam. Ball loose on the floor. Who's got it? Whistle and traveling violation against John Stark. I think so, because Hagman is pleading his case once again, and Hanover will get the basketball. 27-10. Hanover on top. 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Whistle and a 3-second violation against Hanover. So a turnover by the Marauders.
Haven't seen a ton of offense from either side in this quarter.
There's no flow to this basketball game here in the second quarter. Lots and lots of whistles so far. Student section down to our left from where you're watching at home or on your mobile device. Here's a three ball thrown up by Patterson. It's good. First three-pointer for John Stark in this ball game, and they cut the deficit to 14 points. Hanover over the line, whistle, and a whistle, traveling violation. It looks like Patterson was shaken up, so he got bumped into. Again, lots of contact, and instead the officials call a traveling violation. Patterson trying to jog it off, and a whistle and a timeout called by Hanover. 30-second timeout. We will take one as well here in Hanover. Marauders 27, John Stark 13, 2:13 to go in the second quarter. Back after this, you're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Welcome back to Hanover High School. 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Hanover 27, John Stark 13. Hanover in the double bonus for the rest of this first half. And John Stark in the 1-1 as the Marauders have committed 7 fouls. 4 timeouts left for both teams. And the big story is the lack of defense by the Generals and the fact that their big man, number 30, Parker McQuarrie, 6'7" junior, is on the bench and has been there for a while because he has 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem for the Generals. He plays a big role in this team. Hasn't scored in this game, but still got his 4th foul with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That's a big loss for them. Hopefully he can come back and play a clean basketball game.
So after the timeout called by Hanover, each team with 4 remaining, it'll be John Stark basketball as they bring it into the front court. Patterson showing no ill effects of the collision, though he is on the bench for John Stark right now. Nice backdoor cut, layup is good. Beautiful move there by Hagman as he cut down the right-hand side of the lane, lays it up and in. Now that big lead for Hanover is down to just a dozen points. Adam with it. Cross-court pass, here's Goodrich. Goodrich in the lane with it is Adam. Tic-tac-toe passing, Mosenthal for 3, it's good. That's what you do, you find the open man. You get the Generals scrambling on defense. Hanover hits the 3, and it's back up to a 15-point advantage for the Marauders. Man-to-man defense by Hanover right now. Here's a 3-ball thrown up, and that one's no good by Jake Silva. Long rebound, and Silva collects it. Off to the left-hand side. Silva with a little jumper from 10 feet away. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound collected by Barr, though. Goes up with it. Reverse layup, no good. Still a battle for the basketball underneath. Whistle and a jump ball as Steger got tied up with Gamache. A little aggressive on both ends, and Hanover will get it.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all of your printing needs. And by Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Check out their Facebook page.
Full head of steam from Mosenthal as he takes it coast to coast. Layup no good, but he does get fouled. And Mosenthal will go to the line to shoot 2 for Hanover. 1:06 remaining here in the first half. 30-15. Marauders on top. They've been in the double bonus for a while. This is 2 shots anyway. And it will be charged against Joseph Simona, 6'3" junior for John Stark. Rosenthal at the line for 2. First one up, back iron, rattles off, no good. Putnam back in for Steger for Hanover. Mosenthal's second foul shot, back iron, no good. Loose ball on the floor, who's got it? Finally coming down with it is Gamache, throws it ahead. And Hagman lost it for a second. Now has it in the front court to Barr. Right-hand side, thinking about the 3 is Silva. Back over to Barr. Barr with it, being guarded shirt to shirt closely by Adam. Barr still with it with 45 seconds to play, now throws it away. Here comes Hanover on the run once again. Here's Paulson, coast to coast, layup is good. Fast break points, that's the difference in the ball game as well, as Hanover's lead is back up to 17 with 33 seconds to play in the half. Hagman knocked away by Mosenthal, by a whistle, and they will call a foul, so this will lead to 1-1 for Hagman. 8 fouls committed by Hanover, and it's the second charge to Mosenthal.
Tune in every week for YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's college and professional sports with the Salt Hill Pub NFL Picks of the Week. And every week, YCN Sports Wrap takes a look at local games in our area. Check for air schedules at ycnnow.com.
How about a combine pick?
Yeah, right.
Or a draft pick.
Yeah. Coming
up in a few weeks. Shot is no good, and a whistle and another foul on the floor. Jeremy, what are the Patriots going to get? Join Jeremy Stout for that.
Yeah, right.
Who are the Patriots going to pick? Hagman at the line as the foul was called against Gantrish for Hanover. That's their 9th. Hagman's shot rolls out, no good. Rebound pulled down by Putnam. Putnam up ahead. Hanover on the run in the front court. And now this ball is thrown away. It's intercepted by Simeone. Here's Gamache. Stops off to Simeone. His shot from the corner, left short, no good. Hanover with the rebound, that's Gantrish with it. Quickly in the front court, Paulson's pass knocked away again. Buzzer sounds though, and we've reached the end of the first half. Well, John Stark has tried to climb back into it, especially in the second quarter, but it's been all Hanover. We'll run down the stats and the runs when we come back. Hanover fighting for their playoff lives. They're looking good right now as we have reached halftime on senior night in Hanover. The Marauders 32, the John Stark Generals 15. We'll take a break, be back with first half stats and the start of the third quarter right after these words. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Welcome back here to Hanover High School. I'm Dave Collins along with Andrew Zerhide to my right. Also Alex and Greg behind the camera tonight. 32-15 Hanover on top of John Stark. We've got some individual stats, Andrew, coming up, but Hanover started out, they came out like gangbusters, a 7-0 run. The first field goal for John Stark didn't happen until 3:10 left in the first quarter. Hanover's been in the double bonus since 5:22 of the second quarter, and the big story for John Stark is their lack of defense,
right,
and also their big man, Parker McQuarrie, number 30, the 6'7 junior, biggest player on the court. The problem is he hasn't been on the court, especially in the second quarter, because he's got 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, that's been a big loss for John Stark, him not playing, and he hasn't scored a single point in this one. So other guys have had to step up, like Bergeron. He is leading their team right now with 6 points. And other guys like Hagman, he has 4, and Patterson has a 3. So a number of guys in John Stark having to kind of fill the void left by McQuarrie.
Meanwhile, for Hanover, getting past the John Stark zone defense in the first half wasn't really a problem. Yeah, it caused a few turnovers, but John Stark would get the basketball, come right down, and turn it right back over. So they've had an easy time getting it into the front court and sort of taking their time looking for those good shots. And what can we say about Nolan Gantrish? He was wide open along with Caleb Putnam underneath almost the entire time once Hanover got it into the forecourt.
Yeah, they were. Putnam really, he had a big first quarter. He scored 8 points in that one. McQuarrie really could not contain him. And other guys like Martin Paulson, he's leading all scorers right now with 15 points. He's hit a number of threes. He's really looked good. He's also dribbled the ball well and gotten past that John Stark full court press. And other guys like Mosenthal, he has 5 points. And some other guys, Goodrich, he has 2. So a number of guys contributing on Hanover, but really their paint game, and they've been shooting the ball well from 3. That's really where they've been scoring most of their points.
And that's what Hanover wants to continue. A win, and you're in for Hanover. John Stark, they can afford a loss, but also fighting for playoff seeding right now. But the urgency is on the sense of the Marauders, and they're looking good right now. We are at halftime here at Hanover High School. The Marauders leading John Stark 32-15. We'll take a quick break and be back with third quarter action right after these words. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.